From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
All right, quick reminder, of course, the Reading Rodeo is next week, starting next week, Wednesday, May 15th through the 18th. Tickets have been available and are still available. You can get your tickets at readingrodeo.com. You can also go to the box office or call the box office at area code 530-241-8559. Be sure to check in with Coffee with Kruger weekday mornings at 7 a.m. We're going to be finalizing the details of the contest to give away free tickets for you and your family. Of course, just keep watching Weather NorCal. Of course, watch Coffee with Kruger, that is, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. this week to finalize the details. We should be giving away some tickets this week sometime, so be sure to check that out. Take a look at this. I want to show you where we are so far for this season after this weekend's rain. And most of us, with the exception of Montague, around the Wairika area, are over 100%. Right? Montague about 92%. I mean, at about 9 inches for the season so far, it's kind of hard to believe that that's almost close to 100%, but they typically don't see a lot of rainfall, as well as El Turris. You can see El Turris just under 10 inches, but still that puts them at 110% of average. Reading, Red Bluff, Eureka, Crescent City, look at Crescent City, 70.99, almost 71 inches of rainfall there. So a lot of rainfall that we saw over the weekend. In fact, I was kind of talking about how many of us may have seen the entire month of May rainfall normal, right? Not necessarily the case. It was close. Out at the Reading Airport, 1.47, there were some spots near Reading that did see 2 inches. So it just depends on where you are. Red Bluff, nowhere near, or about half of where we typically see for the month of May altogether, just from Saturday alone. Eureka, close at 2.91. There you can see Crescent City actually did exceed what we normally see for the entire month of May. Again, this is the entire month of May average. So Crescent City was the only one that actually exceeded what we typically see for the entire month. And again, just in one day. Mount Shasta 1.39, Montague pretty close to that 1.32, but El Turris nowhere near that 1.26 that they typically see in the month of May. So, but bottom line, still some very impressive rainfall amounts. The rain is kind of in our rear view mirror, right? And now we're going to be dealing with, as we move forward, going into the next 7 days or so, dry conditions and a warming trend as well. I do expect that toward the end of this week and into the weekend, boy, we're talking about temperatures in the valley, 90 degrees plus. And this will be the first time we've seen 90 degrees for the year so far. Still, though, even though it will get a lot warmer, I don't see any major heat waves heading our way anytime soon. Triple-digit heat, I'm not seeing it just yet. Here's your neighborhood at a glance for tomorrow. Look at that, no raindrops to speak of. Now it's warming up a bit. Temperatures in the low 70s, low to mid 70s in the valley. For the mountains, we're mainly talking 50s, although Trinity County mid 60s and in the eastern mountains in the low 60s. For your Tuesday. Let's talk about the winds, because that's really going to be the main headline over the next couple of days. So today, you notice the winds may have picked up in some spots here. They're going to be a little bit stronger tomorrow out of the north across the board for the coast, for the mountains, the valley, all generally coming in from the north for your Tuesday. By Wednesday, the winds are picking up even stronger, also generally coming in from the north. We're talking gusts 20 to even 30 miles per hour in the valley, some strong winds along the coast, and even just off the coast. Look at these very strong winds there, and some pretty gusty winds even off into the eastern mountains. And those winds will probably continue to Thursday before they finally start to die down toward the end of the week. All right, so again, there are those winds. See these isobars, these white lines, when they're packed together, that basically means stronger winds. So a couple of things we're watching. This area of high pressure here, and low pressure that will develop off to our east. So watch what happens as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday. This ridge of high pressure builds to the north. We see low pressure develop off to our east. We're sandwiched between the two. This is a classic setup for gusty north winds, and that's what we expect for Wednesday. Clockwise rotation, counterclockwise rotation, and it all just filters down into Northern California with those northerly flow of winds. Now again, that'll probably continue into Thursday, but by Friday, that ridge builds stronger. This low pressure dives to the south. Now the area of low pressure and high pressure are spreading farther and farther away from each other. That's important because when they do that, the winds begin to relax. But now that our focus is off of the winds, now our focus is on the temperatures, and they're warming up. Friday could be our first 90-degree reading for parts of the valley, and then not to mention Saturday and Sunday. You can see by the weekend that ridge of high pressure will begin to weaken a bit, but it will still definitely be on the warm side here as we go through the weekend. Your wave heights, you can see they are going to be increasing here as we take you into your Tuesday. There's Tuesday at 6 p.m. Especially as you start heading out, you can see anywhere of around 10 to 11 feet. And it looks like they may begin to even increase as we take you into your Wednesday. So looking at your marine forecast for tomorrow, those winds will be from the north at 10 to 20 knots. There's a gale watch starting basically this evening into tomorrow. This may eventually get upgraded to a gale warning. So it's one of those things you'd have to just stay tuned and keep a close eye on that, especially if you do need to be out on a small boat. Temperatures tonight, it's cooling off. There you can see it in the low to mid 40s for many of us in the valley. So a chilly start to the day. We're talking 20s and 30s for the higher elevations, even Trinity County dropping down into the low 30s. Right around 40, upper 30s, low 40s for the inland areas, and that's also the case here along the coast here for tonight. All right, so let's take a look at your neighborhood forecast, starting off with Trinity County. There you can see those temperatures are going to be warmer in the mid 60s, give or take, depending on where you are. And take a look at those 7-day forecasts. Not a drop of rain to be seen, just a few clouds from time to time, and an increase in our temperatures across the board over all of Northern California, including the coast, and not to mention the inland areas. Now, being conservative with these temperatures, we could see some 90-degree readings here even for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Looking at Siskiyou County, there you can see temperatures are going to be the low to mid 50s, although cooler out towards the north and east in the upper 40s there. And for Modoc County, kind of right there at that 50-degree mark for most of us. Temperatures increasing, though, should be back in the mid to upper 70s here by the end of the week, and in particular by the weekend. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, we've got 56 out in Westwood, 58 for Chester, and 64 degrees in Shingletown. And how about the Valley? Well, there's a look at your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor. Yeah, not bad. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s for your daytime highs. Just kind of that perfect temperature as far as I'm concerned. I'd say around 72, 73 for me personally. That's a perfect temperature. 73 degrees for Redding, 73 degrees for Anderson, 71 for the city of Shasta Lake, and Whiskeytown, about 68 degrees. All right, there's a look at your 7-day forecast for Redding. These temperatures are increasing. We're back up to 90 plus by Friday through the weekend. For your Mother's Day, it's going to be a warm one. So make sure you've got some cool water for those Mother's Day flowers that you get your mother or your grandmother, or a loved one that's like a mother. Otherwise, I do expect those temperatures will probably stick around, although we will see a slight drop in those temperatures as we go into early next week